Okay, so this is going to be a little piggyback off of a prior video I made speaking on why Christmas is attached to a bearded man and why Christmas and Easter is attached to a death and springing forward a life inside of an egg. Now we're going to talk on what happens, aloha. We're going to speak on what happens once you obtain an egg or a body. Well, we have different things that grow on a body. Most of you are born with very little hair. So the hair that you obtain would be grown. It would be manufactured in life. The hair that you're born with was more manufactured in death. Maybe this is key why you don't touch a baby's head for maybe the first year, or I don't really apply those sciences. I'm just talking about what I hear. I know that you try not to touch a baby's hair for the first year because you're born with this hair. It's not grown. It's not grown like this hair that comes into life. Some other things you're born with: moles, birthmarks, certain birth defects or abnormalities. All of these things come from past lives. These are all ways for your body to remember the information from the past. If you were stabbed in your chest, well, odds are, or shot, or anything damaged in the chest, you're going to be rebirthed. Most likely you're going to have a birthmark or scar signifying that trauma. It's built or made so that you can avoid it. It's kind of like it's a sign. Okay, so we have signs to give us direction. So if we have a sign on our body, it's to help us or give us direction. Okay? Moles. It's a little different. What would be the signs? What would be the metaphysical signs of a mole? Because I'm going to get into hair in a second. So we know birthmarks. So birthmarks would be, in a sense, the traumatic experiences that you've dealt with in a past life. And you've brought them forward into the present life so that they can be signs or directions. But directions to where? Because this is all about polarities, people. North, south, east, west. Fire, earth, air, water. Physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. This is about the four bodies of you, always. It's not about anything else. So if I am looking at this scar, and I don't consciously remember what the scar is, but I subconsciously or unconsciously, which can restore a lot more information because it's not analyzing every single individual thing. And this is actually the science of the mind and the heart. The unconscious is the heart because it's feeling. It's not analyzing, it's not slowing it down, it's not like, let me read this, C-O-A-C-H. That's mine. It takes a whole different science. The heart, I'm gonna just feel it. Just feel like money. I'm gonna keep moving. Why the fuck do I care? It's in a Coach wallet. It says Coach. These are details that are just distractions. But stay with me. So, if I'm looking down and I'm seeing a scar, your conscious and unconscious is going to analyze this. As consciously, you're going to be like, oh, that's a birthmark. Ha, that's what they told me. It's a birthmark. Oh my God. It's nothing important. It's just a birthmark. It was here when I was born. Okay, but then unconsciously your body's gonna be like, what the fuck is this? I'm looking at this every day. His stupid ass don't want to ask the right questions, so I'm going to ask the right questions. What is this? What is this? And then before you know it, some dark shit conjures up. Where you remember you being shot in the chest. Or you remember being stabbed in the heart or chest. Or, it gets, deep like that. So, the reason why you're born with these traumas or these scars on your body is so that you can remember it unconsciously, have no clue where it comes from, and then you're damaged as fuck because you're like, oh my God, in your mind, like, this hurt me. Like, this is what I died. This is my connection. Like, I was killed, and then you're holding on to that. But let me just go a little bit deeper. Birthmark is a trigger. It's triggering you so you can remember the trauma of your past life. See, I gotta breathe sometimes. I don't write this shit down all the time, so I gotta analyze it in my head as I'm speaking. Alright? So, if you know the birthmarks is in a sense a trigger to get someone either pushed and pulled in a certain polarity. What's the hair? Well, the sun gives off light every day. I've had past videos trying to explain to you that the sun dies and then resurrects every morning and gives you back your spirits. So you obtain your spirits through your skin. Reptiles, dragons, hairless beings get all their information from their skin. So what happens when you place an object over your skin? It is now going to store the information. You die every day and is resurrected. So you are constantly dying your spirits off and bringing them back into you. What happens if you don't want your spirits to leave? You say, you know what? You're staying this time. Well, they have to be trapped in a web, in a kink. And this is how you trap spirits in hair. Why do witches or old witches in the movies have hairy bushes down there? Hair, this is magic. Hairy chests. Okay? So, let's stay with me. If I in my past life was murdered like hung, okay? Then the spirit that dwells within me has to constantly, every single day, live out the trauma of being hung. Now, it can still move past it, but it doesn't change the fact that this happened. This is literally its timeline. It was hung and has died. So instead of it living out that light or story every single day, the sun sets and then rises again, spirits have created a way of placing themselves in hair. So now, hair is an ability to trap spirits. But it's also a way of guarding one's skin from the light or information of the sun. This would now understand why certain species on this planet are very hairy. Because the hair is blocking out their information from the sun. The sun is feeding them their spirits. Certain individuals don't want to feel certain spirits within them. So they allow these spirits to be caught up in hair. And then of course the hair grows because it's like roots. Because you are a tree, people. So if you're seeing hair, I want you now to also apply the science of roots. That I am now, with all this hair on my face, now infusing all of my roots, or ancestors, and gathering them all up in one location, or one space, so that all of my spirits, or ancestors, can speak as one. Dreadlocks. Each individual dread is a spirit. cut off Samson's dreads, he no longer has a connection to his spirits. The science of this is, if you go bald head, you're going to bring in these spirits with no other spiritual intervention. So you go bald head, you're going to constantly rebirth these spirits in you in the same fashion or shape as yesterday. So then you get a level of consistency. And consistency is magical also. But so is chaos. But you guys don't understand the science of chaos and consistency. Consistency is a form of magic, but so is chaos. A beard is chaos magic. A bald head is consistent magic. This is why soon I'll probably have like a bald head with a beard. Who knows? You know. So Shaggies, Bigfoots, very, very hairy individuals that trapped a whole bunch of spirits in their hair. Magic. Beards. Genies. Genies are often depicted with beards. So this is when we now get into a little deeper science. Now we're going to talk about some energies that have beards. Alright, I'll give you another idea or philosophy of what I mean with chaos. And what was the other word I used? Ooh, that sucks. That's what happens when you don't write anything down. If y'all can help me. What was the other word I used? It was chaos, and then there was another word. I don't remember what the other word was. Consistency. There we go. So we have consistency and we have chaos. What would be consistency? If I'm a man and I shave every single day, this is consistency. You are consistently shaving off your hair. Thank you, mob. Consistency. Okay? So because consistency is what we... Oh, it's okay. Because consistency is what was embedded on us as a template. In America, there was a time you could not get a job with a beard. This is facts. In America, there was a time that you had to be consistent. You couldn't be chaotic. You would not fit in a system. So this now understands why in Eastern philosophy or in the Middle East, they use chaos magic or wear beards. All grown all over the place. Crazy. Down to the chest and all this elaborate beards. They could do that in the Eastern philosophy. But we are ruled by Eastern philosophy, that Eastern star you call Venus. So since we're ruled by the East, how do we incorporate that magic? Aladdin and the genie, Santa Claus, George Washington, all these different individuals with these beards. How do you tell America that they need to be one way, but show us something completely different? Y'all don't see this magic right here in your face, but it happens. It's life. Okay? So, since we're now building on Middle East and Eastern philosophy, or chaotic philosophy, because you will not control that female. They praise a deity named as Allah. Allah is consistent of 5 letters. It also is an acronym, short for arm, leg, arm, head. This acronym is what makes up the term Allah. All, Allah, meaning sound. Lullaby. All, also being a play on words for like an idea. Or Ea, meaning artificial intelligence, alien invasion, alien influence, another influence. All part of AI, or AL. Depends how you look at it. It also represents all. So all laws. So all of the laws or L's combined. This is what Allah considers himself. But you have to understand who Allah is. Allah, A-L, arm, leg, arm, head. A-L-L-A-H. Okay? Well, some other deity has these letters attached to his name. You know him in modern terms as Lucifer. But the name that was given to this deity known as Lucifer was known as Elelu. Hola. Aloha. Elelu, Lucifer, lose, loser. Elelu is also known as Allah. And Elelu is known as, man, y'all, there's too many words, bro. Y'all be getting me all confused with all these titles. This is how I can't make it simple. But it's Alberenid or something. The people who run the world right now is, I don't know the word of these people, but Prince Ea speaks on it a lot. Those people with the horns and the beards. Those are the genies or the Allahs on this planet. Okay? Let's get into this science a little bit deeper. I explained to you that the goat is a star to divine feminine. The goat was created so that the spirit of divine feminine can be infused in the hairs of that goat. Elelu was one of the first beings to have a goat. To have a beard. Well, we know this is called the goat of Mendes. We know that this is also known as the Baphomet, which is symbolic for the Capricorn, which is symbolic for a planet that's ruled by Saturn. Saturn is another word for Satan. And Satan, to say a ton of shit, the Satan is a southern polarity. So it just represents the South Pole. Elelu is known as Christopher Columbus, known as Christ. The original, I went to Catholic school. The original name for who they assumed to be Santa Claus was named Christopher. Christ. Crystal. There was a movie that was released in the 80s called Dark Crystal. What is a dark crystal? When they say dark crystal, what do they mean? When you hear the word Schwarzenegger, what are they telling you right in your face? Swartz, meaning crystal. Swarovski, Swartz, meaning crystal. Niger, sounding similar to nigger. Arnold Schwarzenegger or Schwarzenegger. Arnold, which I won't even get into what that means, but Schwarzenegger, meaning crystal nigger. That's what his last name means. Remember, he plays hero, action hero, all the time. Governor of California, Kali. Governor or voice of Inanna, Ishtar, Lilith. Why is the Schwarzenegger the voice of Kali? Because Schwarzenegger means crystal nigger. Well, a nigger is dark. A nigger is black. So then are you saying black crystal? Are you saying dark crystal? We know that crystals store information. So does this crystal store in light information or dark information? If the crystal was white, then it would be storing in light information. But if the crystal is dark, then it is storing in dark information. Well, what do we know to be dark? The blood. So how do you make a crystal dark? You attach it or infuse it with blood or root energy. This is deep. I'm gonna go too deep. So let's just back it up a little bit. Make it simple. Because that might be a little too deep. Making my head spin a little bit. Here's the best way I could explain it. Lilith was the original template on this planet. Lilith is a representation of divine feminine, Wonder Woman. Lilith and Diana are the same. They're just separations of the same ideology. When Diana refused to defend the world because Ares, aka Gibble, killed her love, she no longer defended humanity. That is Lilith. That is when Diana went left. When Diana chose not to offer any more assistance to the people she vowed to help, because they killed her husband, her nigga, killed who she loved. So she's salty, she's emotional. So Lilith is emotional. It's the emotional Diana. But Diana is the warrior. So here's what I'm trying to help you guys understand. Lilith was supposed to be the template or temple on this planet. The temple of God. But it was removed. Thus, now producing a secondary. You're 11. You get 1, and then you get the reflection. So the reflection of Lilith is your Adam. And he is dumb as fuck. Okay? And your Atom, Tom, there's that Tom again. Like Tom, always giving you the directions and telling you where to go. But now that Lilith no longer has a body, how does Lilith or divine feminine stay predominant, stay relevant, stay present? Well, A, she gave you her body. All bodies on this planet are female, whether we like it or not. This is the science. All bodies are the egg of your mother. It is the sperm that's animating you either as a masculine feminine or a feminine masculine. It's on your spirit, on what you decide to come here and be or do. So because Lilith does not have a body, please understand the science. We are the crystal nigger now. We are soaked in with her blood, her DNA, stored within us. You are the only one that can be your own savior, your own Christ, your own hero, your own Heru. If you do not reach out to the divine feminine that resides within you, you will not be able to save you. Christ is a hero. So anyone you deem a hero that you look up to, most of them are men. Most of the people on this planet that you would deem as your heroes are men. So we have been embedded to look up to men all the time. Behind every good king is a queen. Let me keep it going, keep it flowing. Lilith offered her egg because Lilith wanted to be stimulated. So what would this be? We are astral energies. We are thoughts. And when your thoughts are no longer enough to keep you complacent, you then move. You then act. So when your thought starts bothering you, you react on the thought. Her thought was, I'm alone. That started bothering her. So, she knows the sciences of projecting into the astral. She allowed herself to be incubated. This is where the incubus comes from. She allowed herself to become incubated by the spirit of Alelu. Alelu then offered his sperm cell inside of the egg of Lilith. And then Lilith birthed Adam. Slept with Adam. Produced a child. It used to be Lilith would get on top of Adam and fuck Adam. Adam did not fuck Lilith. Lilith dominated Adam. But just like Lilith's reptilian background, it's all about love and war. So she taught him the template of aggression. She taught him the template of working for what you deserve and earning her attention, her right. Very similar to the animals as well. You wonder why the animals become aggressive. So after they all aggressively try to get her attention, very similar to like the jester that's dancing in front of the king trying to get his approval or attention, or queen. Adam then eventually was able to subdue Lilith. He raped her. And Lilith was not prepared to be raped by her own creation. Imagine that. Could you imagine being raped by your own creation? Probably could be traumatic. Probably would explain incest. Anyway, and they produced from that rape a child. A man. Another man. Set, maybe? Not really sure. I'm just kind of showing you how I see it in my head as I'm speaking. And they produced another child. And Adam, not being in control, because Lilith did not teach him all of the sciences of sex, unfortunately, he raped his own son. I ushered in homosexuality. So not only did Adam rape his mother, he raped his own son, his daughter, of course, as well. And it created different rifts and timelines. Because it emotionally burdened Lilith. This is very similar to how our minds operate now. If we are dealing with something that is so traumatic or so hard for us to rationalize or grasp, we will split, or we would fight, flight, fly away, or run away, just freeze. I mean, you hit all that. But anyway, this is when Lilith's reptilian DNA was fully activated, when she was raped by her own son, and that put her in fight, flight, fornicate, freeze, and feed mode. And when she entered into those 5 F's, when she entered the 5 F's, she then created a template for humanity. And humanity has been living in the template of the mother, which would be fight one's own creation. Damn, bro, that's fucking deep. Woo! Yeah. So that would be that. That's kind of deep. The serpent is the dick. That's the serpent. Don't get this shit twisted. It's very simple. The tree is you. When you wrap the dick around the tree, okay? Well, that was Adam raping. One was the tree of life, which was the woman. So you can have sex with the tree of life, but you cannot have sex with the tree of knowledge. What is sex with the tree of knowledge? This is what the homosexual ritual is in Hollywood. A man's G-spot is in his anal cavity. When you tap into a man's G-spot or God spot, it hits the pineal gland. You access hidden information. You tap into the tree of knowledge. It's so deep. Yeah. Definitely. Who wants to be in my video? Come on in. So,
Hey, yo, Q, man, what up, man?
what up?
You don't even know who you talking to, huh? It's Troy, man.
I see you. Stop it.
Oh, all right.
Cool.
I'm listening to what... Nah, I'm listening to what you was talking about, man. Was that Adam and Eve you was talking about?
Yeah, most definitely. So, they give you in a very simple story 3 people that were in the Garden of Eden. You have 2 females, 1 male. Sounds like a sex party. The 2 females you would know to be Lilith.
Yeah.
And then another energy known as Eve, meaning the beginning, of course. Lilith was, in a sense, an ancestor from another planet. We've been here very, very long, extremely long. She was removed from her planet because she had a sexual encounter with someone she wasn't supposed to. Basically, she was married to a king. She slept with the king's brother, produced a child from this king's brother, which would be a Lelu. But this isn't Lilith as you know it, because Lilith is actually just the body of an older soul. Let's just stay focused. So because she disobeyed the rules, she was kicked out. She was placed on a planet Earth by herself. It wasn't Earth, it was Gaia or Gaia. This is where the word gay comes from. But she was by herself. This is where you get the word gay. When you're gay, you're really loving yourself. Homosexuality is a way of loving or reconnecting with the exact same thing you are. So it's when you miss.
All right. I got kind of confused where you was going with that.
Yeah. So she was here all alone, and what you're able to do is, y'all don't really have the ability yet, but when you astral project or meditate, you can talk to other spirits that don't have bodies. So what she did was she reached out to a spirit in her mental state and did very similar to what they say Mary did, immaculate conception. She had a baby without anyone physically touching her. That baby was Adam. She created this baby because she was alone, because she was completely on a planet all by herself and could not interact with animals the way that she interacts with herself. She did sleep with these animals.
Where you get this information from? Because I want to read that shit myself.
Just know, I don't know. I just a feeling. I don't know how to explain it. It's not compiling all the different stories that people talk about and then doing what makes sense to me. Like what makes sense.
Okay,
She used to sleep with animals. Okay? We know on this planet, women sleep with animals. This is actually a weird fetish, bestiality. Where does that come from?
Bestiality.
Right, because she slept with a goat. This is where you now get the concept of the goat coming in with the beard, and why the goat has a beard, and why Santa has a beard, and why genies have beards, because she slept with a goat. This is why in Satanism they have a goat of Mendes, or a Baphomet, which is a horn and a goat deity, because the first energy she slept with was a goat or a ram, or the energy of Aries, which gave her his sperm, and then she produced a being.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Now, I know you didn't just think that one. I know you got that information from somewhere. Where'd you get that from? Come on, Q, man. Stop playing.
Y'all keep asking me these questions. I don't know.
Somebody told you that shit or something.
No. White women sleep with fucking animals. And I need an answer. Okay? That's how I got the answer. That's how. Because it's weird as hell that I keep running into people hitting my inbox asking me why they keep fucking sleeping with animals or what is their fixation with animals. See, I leave myself open so much that people ain't restricted to talk to me. They talk to me about some real left shit. So if something's coming into me or coming to me, I have to be like, why is this happening? So it got to apply to something. So why do women like to sleep with horses, which is actually the energy that Michael chooses to be, a horse? You know, so why does Lilith want to connect with Michael? Well, Michael was the king she was with. That was who she was with, Archangel Michael, before she slept with Gabriel. But that's a whole nother science. But so, because Gabriel is the ram. So you literally have a horse and you have a goat. The horse is Michael, and that's why he was always on a horse. And then Gabriel or the Goblin King or Gob or God or whatever word y'all want to use is a goat that sits here and eats, just eats. Always got hay in his mouth or something in his mouth. It's deep. It's always consuming something.
That's what I'm saying, Q. You got that information from somewhere because somebody told you that shit.
No, anybody tell me shit. I wish someone could tell me something that I nah, bro. It don't work like that. I don't know how to explain it. Like it there ain't no goddamn serpent. It's my dick. So if and I know that I'm a tree. I know that I am the tree of life. I literally represent a tree. So how did it? You gotta apply it. You gotta think about what it is that it's saying. They ain't don't let them hit you with some goofy shit. Go with something that makes sense. Okay, what makes sense? All right.
So you ain't taking none of this information from the Bible?
I mean, I take some of it. I pull some of it from the Bible because the Bible has one of the beginning stories of what happened on this planet. You know, but it does not explain to you why you have God, why you have Lord. It doesn't explain why the Muslims call their God Allah. It doesn't explain why Jesus considered himself the morning star, the same way Lucifer did, and why Jesus saw the devil in the desert. I mean, it's deep. I could run that. That's a whole nother conversation. But
Yeah.
needless to say,
that's one of the things I was trying to get at you, because it said, when I looked at your joint, it said that it was, what's the meaning of hair?
All right, I'll call you back.
Yeah, so hair is essentially a way for you to store in spirit. Samson in the Bible was strong because he called in spirits. Solomon, or the soul of man, was strong because he summoned or called in spirits. Well, what did Solomon do to call in spirits? He had a breastplate, just like the Bible tells you. And in this breastplate, he had mirrors and crystals. He trapped in spirits inside of these crystals and mirrors and then called on them when he wanted to use it. Very similar to what I do. I'm a crystal. I trap in spirits inside me and call on them when I want to get information. Anyway, Samson did it different. Samson did it with his dreads. So Samson would keep in spirits through his hair. Hair's a way of bringing a new spirit that you weren't born with. That's probably the best way to explain it. You are born with a small amount of hair. And as you grow, you then accumulate more. This is how you then accumulate more spirits. The difference is, as a melanated species, we obtain our spirits from the sun. So, when the sun rises every morning, we absorb all of that light from the sun. If we have hair, it's going to pick up that light. And instead of when we go to sleep and our light leaves out our body, the spirits now get stuck in the hair. They can't leave. They can't keep coming in and out, in and out, in and out. So then you get consistency. And this is why I started breaking into the word of consistency. When you do something consistently, you create a pattern or a routine or a blueprint. And then that's when creation starts getting built. Instead of us living in a previous template, which is chaos. Anything. Just let it all just all over the place. There's no structure. And in that no structure, we got lost. And this is why we're here now, because we didn't structure ourselves on being able to. All right, think of it like you're on a journey and you didn't put any bread down to get yourself back.
Q, I gotta. My daughter about to get in the car.
Oh, all right, you good? You good?
I hit you back later. I hit you back. All right.
So
how you turn this shit off?
Hold on, I got you. All right. So very similar to a journey. If we're on a journey and it's pitch black, we'll say that. I like my little pads and stuff. Okay? Say we're in a box. Okay? And this is where we start off. Right here in the middle. Okay? You have no light. It's pitch black. But you are tired of staying in the middle. So you shoot out. And then 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 you keep going. Alright? And then before you know it, you have all these walls. Stopping you from getting back to your origin. And it's because you did not create the right system, because you're chaotic and just want to go move on some shit or dance. Because you didn't create no system of getting back to your source, you became lost. So we then have to now create a whole new template. And this is the consistency of one's light, and not just the chaos of one's light. Alright, let's see if I got any other questions. It's fucking hot in New Orleans. Swear to God. Alright, I'm all day oppressed with how to make my hair. LOL, never happened to me before. Yeah, I don't think there's too many questions in this one. Yeah, so if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, y'all can leave it up here. No one gives me my information, people. People give me my information. I'm now relying on that information, or I'm now relying on that individual for my information. So this is what I want you guys to get into the system. Your cell phone gives you most of your information. You use your cell phone more than a computer, more than a tablet, more than a notepad, more than your refrigerator, more than anything else. You gotta start getting information from more than just one singular source. Maybe use a computer. I don't have a computer, go to the library. Do not go on your phone and go to Google. Go to another source. Because you know what happens? You then enter a different timeline. So your phone is connected to one timeline. It's going to give you all the information from this timeline. This device connected to one timeline. If you hook up to a computer, it's connected to a whole nother timeline. You might get some different information than you would have on this phone. Same for if you listen to me, but maybe listen to another person. And then you might listen to another person. The problem is when you listen to 10 people and they're all saying 10 different things, well then that's called chaos. That's not consistency or consistent. So odds are you should take whatever you were looking on your phone for Google to the library. Just bring in the same information. Just try different tools. So if I'm talking about Lilith and the raping or molestation of Adam to his own mother and to his own children, research that. See anyone else that might be talking about that or building on that idea. Not, okay, he's talking about the Garden of Eden. Let me go research Nazis. You know, we do that. You know, we pull from so many different directions that we can never get back to the center. You know, so remember that if I'm giving you an idea, like the Garden of Eden, you can now spiral out of it and stretch out and now reach other squares for information or different polarities. So how water views the Garden of Eden is going to be different than how fire views the Garden of Eden, and how earth views the Garden of Eden, and how air, you know, get what I'm saying? So that'll probably give you a little closer tidbit. I get a lot of my information from like life. You know, I'll give you an example. I'll get an urge to watch something. Yesterday was Blade. I'm watching Blade, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, hold on. Blade is a melanated man or a black man. That is a vampire. All the other vampires in this movie are white. All of them. But yet he is the black vampire that they're jealous of because he can walk during the day. I was like, damn, then Blade would be like the Dark Crystal. Oh my God, that's what it was. He is the Dark Crystal. And then I go a little bit deeper in the first Blade movie. It was another female that got bit that was melanated or black. And she can go out during the day. So I'm like, wait, hold on. So are they like saying that black people are really like the true vampires that can handle both cycles? I'm watching this movie and I'm like, yo, a white man created this movie. So it ain't like I'm making this up. Like, this white man created this movie and said this idea. That there is a melanated being that can handle both cycles. Sun cycle and moon cycle. Maybe go a little bit deeper. I was like, okay, that was kind of interesting. So I was like, well then, if they're sucking blood, I was like, how could we suck blood? I think of it like that. Like, because this shit is all fucking Hollywood, you know? Like, made up, make-believe. So, if it's make-believe, then how can I make me believe? Well, I gotta put it into a way that I can believe it. Vampires are beings that drain your energy. Well, sex drains your energy. I know when I have sex, when I'm down, I'm tired. Don't touch me. You know? So literally, this applies in my head. Like, sex is draining. Vampires is draining. Blood comes out of a woman. You can feed off a woman's blood during the menstrual cycle. The menstrual cycle is governed by the moon. Full moons usually bring in menstruals. And then moon, vampire just starts connecting. It just starts making sense to me. Look at the things they're telling you right in your face. Spirit box. My cell phone is a box. And I am a spirit that is looking at myself in a box. This is a spirit box. Simple. Makes sense. You have any questions? I think I'm done with my little rant for the day. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, y'all can drop it here. I don't know where I get my information from. Because I think, like, y'all want me to be like, I got it from How to Learn the World 101 by author Einstein, published in 1967. Like, what one book could I read to give me this information? What 10 books could I read to make me think this way? Help me. Like, let me know what I could research to help me build on the things that I be feeling. Maybe that should be the right question. Like, because I think that's what y'all believe. Like, y'all don't understand. Like, y'all don't understand. Okay, I'll give you an example. How important is your cell phone? Well, I broke down in my group the different parts of you, how that 5-point star is connected to the different emotional bodies. We were often only using our our mental or emotional side through the left and right hands. So we were always picking one. We always were picking either, let me use my mental, so let me write something down, let me add something up, mental, right hand. Womb Man is the name of the group. I'll put the information in at the end. So your right hand would be your mental state, and then your left hand would be your idle side, your emotions, which you don't use enough of. And usually your emotions are just dragged along, like your left side is just dragged the fuck along with you, while your right side is your dominant side. Your right side is your mental side. In the past, we were extremely mental. But then something comes along and helps us not have to think as much. It used to be we would do multiplication in our head. Now you use a calculator. It started with the calculator. So we have the calculator. I'll just use this as an example. This is my calculator, okay? Now I'm adding up numbers. What am I doing? I'm holding this calculator with my left side. It's no longer dormant. It's no longer being used. It's no longer being idle. I am now holding this calculator in my left hand and using my right hand to formulate a solution. So I'm now using my mental state and my emotional state, because who the fuck wants to sit and read a goddamn book for 14 hours just to get some information? I don't want to do that. Who wants to sit and write out every multiplication problem for 14 hours when you can just press a button? This helps with our emotions. This helps us feel better and have more time for ourselves. So us holding this calculator that's giving us more time in life is emotionally awakening us and giving us more time and freedom. But the calculator became a cell phone, people. And the cell phone no longer just became something you hold up, but now we use two hands, people. And now we're incorporating the mental and emotional state of ourselves all in one gadget. This is called transmutation. This is called balance. We are getting in the habit of not thinking as much. This is why you just swipe. That's what we do with our phones. Swipe, 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 swipe. We're feeling things out. You're not even looking at what's on the screen. And then, oh, you watch that. Why did you watch that? You ever wonder why you chose that one video out of all the other shit coming on your timeline? All the other shit popping up on your phone? It's because you felt something with that. Even before you heard it. There was a connection. There was a feeling. And then you hit play. This is all about combining the emotional and mental state. Your heart and your mind. Having your body use both at the same time. You can think about something, but you overthink something, you might get lost. Oh yeah, you can feel something, you feel too much, you just fucking all goddamn day. So don't get lost. Balance yourself. It's important. What's your interpretation of squaring the circle? The circle is a representation of circle. Let me see if I can remember this. Hold on. I can't remember. It's really this though. Hold on. Hold on. Terrible. That's actually it. Right here. Don't forget the triangle. Triangle is representation of your halves. You have a higher self, you have a lower self. So it's really this. And then you get this. So it's the circle with the two symbols in a box. Alright, so a box is when you do this. Make a cross, and you make your little window. Each one has a square. Right. So each square is closing off a polarity. North, south, east, west. Fire, earth, air, water. Fire, earth, air, water. Yeah. So each one is a spirit. So it's how you're kind of like trapping or controlling a spirit. A spirit really is just something that, or soul per se, is really has a job or purpose, and it just does its job or purpose. And then the triangle taps into that energy. It's deep. Because I can't even explain it right now. But a circle is a soul. A square is a spirit. In order to animate a spirit, it has to have a soul. So in order for you to literally have a soul animated, you got to create a box. See the box shape? You know, box. See the box shape? That's why Jesus was stabbed in. Get it? This is it. This Christ showed you the science of a square and a circle. The energy points, access points, like ley lines or guidelines or God lines. Sacred geometry. It's a lot. It's a lot to talk about. It's complex. It's how they're creating a matrix through the triangle, circle, and square. Yes, dimensional is lined up with the moon. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, group is womb man. Gift of discernment. I appreciate it. It is a gift. It's a gift to not be distracted, because that's really what discernment is. Discernment is when you no longer allow yourself to be distracted from CERN or sound, because CERN is also ran by the HARP system, which is all sound magic. What made you want to open your mind to this way of thinking? Inconsistency. That was probably why. I was raised as a Baptist. I went to a Catholic school. Um, 30-something% Jewish. So that's in me. Everyone's too inconsistent. No one really can consistently give you a beginning, middle, and end to me. So then it made me come to the conclusion that there's nobody else that's going to give me the answer but me. So I started thinking, what if I have the answers more than others have the answers? What if I am energy source or source energy instead of others being an energy source or a source of energy? So I just changed the polarity. This is the polarity we're usually operating. One reflecting a one. One reflecting a one. I went like this. Like I kind of like put them together, So I basically understand that everything outside of me is a reflection of me. So I'm in a hot ass car right now. I'm probably charging up my Kundalini energy. Like everything is a reflection of you. So once you start realizing that everything is a reflection of you, you change the way you think. It's just inert. Yes, sometimes the middle of the circle is portrayed as a yin and yang. Because it's your Pisces logo, but this is the secret of that. It's this. This is the secret of your yin and your yang. Some energies are part of the 6, and some energies are part of the 9. Why is 6 scared of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. Okay? And this is the science of this. This is your Pisces. It's also this, though. Don't get shit twisted, people. Look, it's very simple. It's not hard. Okay? So this is your yin yang. Balancing one's higher self and one's lower self. Let's see. Hope you post this. I post them all. Don't even worry. Whatever I have up here, it will never be mistaken or taken off or lost. Are some matrices very similar? Yeah, but we're collapsing them. So, God, man, y'all, like, all right. How could I explain a matrix? Because it's like I'm trying to explain things on a simple level so it makes sense. Because we be goofy out here. I'm not even gonna lie. Okay. So I'm gonna think about it. I got it. Just give me a second. Cause I'm about to really like explain to you what a matrix is and how there are infinite matrices. Okay. So a matrix would be an idea. So say a creation. So a matrix would be an idea or creation. So a circle would be an idea or a creation, right? And then you got to be able to put the idea in motion or put the creation in motion. You got to put wheels on it. The car, it's created, but it's only as good as the wheels. The wolf, it's created, but it's only as good as his legs. I mean, you got to put it into motion. Depending on where you're pulling from, your directions, north, south, east, west. Depending on where you're pulling from, will define which matrix you're pulling from. Because basically, you are a physical being, but you're connected to a higher form of intelligence that is trying to analyze all polarities at once. And this is how you get a circle to spiral. And this is why they say X marks the spot, because that's the spot you originated from. But in a creation, you then have to pull in the information to produce or obtain your creation. All right. Let's see what else. Yeah, I think that's it. So till next time, people.